Hey, it's Lowery Smith of CommanderSmiths here with Searching for the Spotlight, Raffine Scheming Seer, part two. Last time I got down to about 100 cards, and you'd think that we were getting close to done, right? Actually, so I cut roughly 20, and we can talk about those cuts from last time with, just real quick. But then I added about 40, it looks like. So we'll go over those as well. Raffine right now, I'll reread it, but it's white, blue, black, 1/4 flying ward 1. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures, which is drawing cards, discarding cards, and putting 1/1 counters on one of that conniving creature. So looking to do unblockable or flying with some abilities, and that's what I decided that I kind of wanted to do was probably go more into flying. There's more support there, a little bit different. I don't necessarily have a flying deck per se. Like Alayla is the same colors and flying, but that's much more artifact themed and stuff like that. So just looking for a little bit of a different angle. There's better hate cards within that realm. Um, but let's talk about the Commander Smiths a little bit. Sup, AJ? Bang, bang, bang for sure. Um, let's talk about the CommanderSmiths a little bit. We have a podcast that comes out every Wednesday morning, and we talk about various different things. Have a couple different games, like I guess cards based on flavor text, and we also do something called Staple Versus, where we get belligerent and argue over which card is better. One is clearly better, one is not, and you guys get to vote on it. Adam makes proxies. You'll see some of those in the decks in this deck that I'm going through. He does that live every Sunday, uh, and he makes the proxies on Sunday. It's called Proxy Time. You can follow us, and you'll get updates when that's happening. We try and do something live, multiple times a week. I'll put out curated MTG, just kind of a cool card I want to talk about every Monday and Friday. And so if you follow us here on YouTube or on Twitter, you get just free content like all the time. We enjoy doing it. But if you want to support us, you can go to our Patreon. And for $1, you get to be in our Discord. And if you are $5 more, we give away proxies of your choice. Everything that Adam's ever made over the last 4 years. So there's a lot to choose from. Okay. Fiend, let's see. Let me catch up on this. AJ saying that the clues have been layups for Stump the Smith Savant. AJ is upset because he lost just a week or two ago. I don't know if they're layups, my man. I don't know. I don't know. But I'll give you this, AJ. I don't want relationship. I just want bang bang bang. There we go. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang bang bang. Also, if you're not watching this live, I would suggest watching this in 1.5 times, just so unless you like the sound of my voice, or if you just like seeing what the cards are doing, that'll get you through this quicker. And the watch time is appreciated. What else is there? There's something else I was gonna say? That's okay. Let's go through the cards that I cut real quick from part one, just so that it wasn't on air. So just want to talk about it real quick. Exotic Pets is getting cut. Just needing to cut some of that stuff. It's 3 mana. I'd much rather have it be cheaper because it's not really doing anything. Writ of Return. It is. I decided to go with more mass reanimation instead of just like incremental. So we're going with that just because it's going to win. Same idea, stitched together as reanimation. I think it still works here if you want to use it, but I'm going to go with something a little bit more mass. I'm going to get rid of God Pharaoh's Gift and Gift of the Afterlife. Hey, you guys are ganging up on me on Stump the Smith here. They're hard. It's all hard. Come on. I know it's easy for some people. I'm just not as smart as you guys. It's not my fault that Adam named it Stump the Smith Savant. I am not a savant in anything. Yeah, that sounds depressing. All right. Cutting God Pharaoh's Gift and Gate to the Afterlife, same idea, just trying to wanting more mass reanimate and not really worrying about the incremental advantage, or just trying to cut back on that. Fractures, just removal or getting rid of that. Timeless Dragon, just getting rid of that. A little too expensive. Oreskos Explorer doesn't have the doesn't have heart you too, AJ. It doesn't have the evasion, so just gonna cut it. Meringue River Prowler. I was thinking that it's just too expensive. Could be cool, but cutting it. Leonin War Leader. Just getting rid of that. Just had to make choices. Got to make cuts. Curator of Mysteries. I'm going to be honest, because I'm drawing so many cards, it hardly matters if I'm scrying. Like it's not. It hardly matters at all. Uh, Dorothea. It's here for the disturb. It's pretty cool, but just not needed. I don't think. Reassembling Skeleton. Again, probably getting rid of that kind of stuff. Vault Scourge is just the lifelink. I'd like something a little bit more. Elusive Tormentor for that backside would be really cool, but it's expensive. It's 4 plus the 1 and a discard to get there, and it's probably not worth it. Sword of Light and Shadow, same idea with the reanimation. Tainted Indulgence. Might want to put it back in. Let's put that back in here. Oop. Oop. Dig Through Time. It's not drawing, so let's get rid of that. Steel of the Godhead. I don't really care if Raffine is getting through. Something's getting through. Military Intelligence is just a little too slow, I think. Omnis Seas. I'm trying to go wider, so I cut this instead of getting 8/8s, even though the 8/8s are sweet. Antifury, Mage of Time, Master of Time. Just more of the draw discard. I don't really need that much more. I shouldn't anyway. So that's what I'm hoping for. We're cutting those off the bat. That's what I did. Let's look at some of the stuff I want to add, which we'll see. I like how you go through all the Dempsey saying, I like how you go through all the cards. You just cut people and can do some good cards in the decks. They may be building. Yeah. And so I just want to keep everybody updated. I think a lot of this is like just show the cards that you could be using, and that's the route. There's a reason why I cut them, but I mean, it's loose. The biggest reason on cutting cards and trying to get the deck to your size you want is just cut cards. Get to where you want to be and then test it out and see if you need to add back in or not. The biggest part for me that helps me is goldfishing the deck, but the next step is you play it in a game and see how it feels and everything. And if it's not fast enough for who you're playing against and stuff like that, that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. So, looking at cards that I want to add in, Brainstorm. It's a classic card. You know what? Now looking at some of the cards that I cut, I think Get Probe goes away. Curiosity is cheap and draws you a card. Same thing with Curious Obsession. Auras that should be drawing me cards because I should be attacking with creatures that aren't going to be blocked. So drawing cards for cheap is sweet. Cunning Evasion and Teferi's Veil is there. So this is whenever a creature I control is blocked, I can return it to my hand. And at end of combat, I can phase my creatures out. I was thinking that it's going to be like a second and third version of Reconnaissance. And just protecting my creatures during combat because I want to be really aggressive. Propaganda, stopping people from the crackback. Loyal Drake is just evasion along with card draw when Raffine is out, so could be cool. Donnell, Herald of Wings. You can tell that I'm starting to want to go into the flying aspect, but getting more tokens of this kind of thing could be really cool. Archetype of Imagination. All my creatures have flying, and all of my opponents can't have flying. So that just means my cards are unblockable. It feels kind of nice. Island Sanctuary. I can skip drawing a card, which I don't really love, but we'll see. And then, unless a creature has flying or island walk, they can't attack me. So it kind of goes into that. Call the Copper Coats is just a card that can go wide super quick, and I love it. Cleansing Meditation. It has Threshold, which you should get in this deck, but destroy all enchantments. And then if you have Threshold, return to play all cards in your graveyard destroyed this way. So it just returns all the enchantments back to play for yourself. Ghostly Prison. avoid the crackback. Guardian of Faith. Um, so this into Fury's protection with the phasing out, I might have. I don't even know if I'm adding that card, but I want to. It since I'm trying to put a bunch of counters on my creatures. Um, the phasing makes it so that they don't the count 1/1 counters don't go away. And that's what I don't want to have happen. I don't want to start rebuilding right away, but I want to be able to protect my army. So um that was my thought kind of there. SRAM's expertise, getting 3 counters and casting another spell for free. Uh maybe secure the waste can create an army at the end of turn. So it's like, you know, tap it for 6 or 7, you get a bunch of counters or creatures right before your turn, and then you can go wide, and it's a cool card to do. Hushwing Griff has the flying, creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. I don't have a lot of ETBs in here because I'm worried more about attack triggers and, dealing damage, so I was thinking this could be something that works well for me. Sigardian Savior, just as I say, I don't have many ETBs. Here we go. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return 2 creature cards with 2 or less to your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's one of those kind of bringing back more creatures than not, but we'll see. Harmonious Archon. A lot of my smaller creatures are 1/1s and 2/2s, and this will turn them into 3/3s. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1s. So it can kill a lot of the bigger creatures, becoming 3/3s. It kind of makes everything even except for this Archon. And my counters should also be bigger than everybody's stuff. So thinking that could be a cool way, like a little overrun style of doing it. Darien King of Keldor is another way not to avoid those crackbacks because you're going to get a lot of damage that way and a lot of tokens, and then you're going to draw a ton of cards. Safara Skyblade, giving my flying indestructible. It's huge. It can be cheap if you have enough flyers with. So if I lean into that, that's how I want to go. Magus of the Moat, creatures without flying can't attack. Again, trying to avoid that crackback. Haven Mind Sensor, another hate card. If an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of that library instead. Has flying, kind of just looking for stuff that I want to do. Filth. As long as it's in my graveyard and I have a swamp, all my creatures have swamp walk. So like double double evasion. I did not put wonder in here just because I'm thinking more most of my creatures are going to have flying anyway. So maybe. Endrick Sahar, Master Breeder. Whenever you play a creature spell, put a 1/1 Thrall creature token into play. Where X is the spell's converted mana cost. When you control 7 or more Thralls, sacrifice Endrick Sahar. And so I'm thinking it's just an easy way to make a bunch of tokens. I can be aggressive with them, and if people attack or block them, I don't care. And if they do, like, then I just still have an army, or don't. Dream Stealer and Needle Spectre are here because they can mess with my opponent's hands for the amount of power that they are. So, whenever it deals damage to a player, that player discards that many cards. Same thing with Needle Spectre. This can be played from the graveyard. Has menace. This has flying. Both essentially the same amount of casting cost. I think they're interesting to put in. Tombstalker's a 5/5 with Delve, just trying to use that graveyard a little bit more. It's not too bad if you're paying, 5/5 for 2 black with flying, kind of where I'm looking. Scourge and Nel Toth is a 6/6 flying, and you may cast Scourge from the graveyard by paying black and sacrificing 2 creatures rather than paying its mana cost. So it's something that I can potentially cast from the graveyard, which I like. It's evasive, it's big. We'll see if that can make the cut. Necropotence is just a way to fill up the hand, basically. It's easier that way. Darkness is again that protection thing. It is legends. I just kind of wanted to show it off a little bit because old cards are fucking awesome. Tombstone Stairwall. Cumulative upkeep 2, but during each upkeep, each player puts into play a Tomb Spawn token. For each summon card in his or her graveyard, treat these tokens as 2/2 black creatures that were unaffected by summoning sickness and count as zombies. End of turn, or if it leaves play, bury all of these tokens. So it's creating an army that I can attack with willy nilly and should get me, a bigger graveyard to work with the next time. And if I'm able to stop a bunch of the attacking, I don't have to worry about that crackback very much. That's my thought. Dread Summons, another one. Each player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. For each creature card put into the graveyard this way, you can put a 2/2 black zombie creature token in the battlefield tapped. So again, going wide, doing some stuff could be cool. Command the Dread Horde is bring back a ton of creatures. This is that reanimation spell that I want to go with. Vana's Hunger, I should have Ascend, which is 10 or more permanents. Each opponent is going to be sacrifices half the creatures he or she controls rounded up. Because I lack removal in this deck. And so I want one-sided wraths. And that's where I want to go. The spot removal isn't going to be as good for me. My removal needs to be able to hit a bunch of different things, or else I'll never be able to catch up or anything. Hey Ramsey, how you doing, man? Angel's Trumpets. Attacking does not cause creatures to tap. At the end of each player's turn, tap all untapped creatures he or she controls that did not attack this turn. Angel's Trumpet deals 1 damage to that player for each creature tapped this way. So just looking to maybe, if people can't attack, then it's really going to be getting them there. Strixhaven Stadium taps for a colorless. Whenever a creature deals combat damage, you remove a point counter from Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then, if it has 10 or more point counters on it, remove them all, and that player loses that game. So, I think this is a place that could really, really work with it. What's up, Alex? Thanks for joining, man. Alenda, the Dusk Rose. I missed this, but putting counters on this, and then when it dies, you go wide. It's a perfect card for this deck if I can fit it in. Blot out the sky, create X tapped 2/1 white and black inkling creatures. Tokens with flying get and if you X is 6 or more, destroy all non-creature, non-land permanents. So it kind of does, like I was saying, wrath effects and creating an army. So Judge is familiar, 1/1 flyer that can sack itself to make an opponent pay 1 more or something instant or sorceries countered. What is Mystic to Decree? Is that I think Read the Bones, I don't think is in this. It might be, but I don't think it is actually. It probably should be. Is Mystic's Decree the card that takes away Island Walk from Homelands? Jesus, Dempsey, going deep cuts here. All creatures lose flying and Island Walk. All right. Yep. That's a hard lock. I don't know if I like that. Because it's like kills your deck. Spell Queller, Secret Lair, buy Secret Lairs. Come on. I'm not even a shill for Wizards. I mean, I could be. I should be. We don't have any sponsors, Wizards. So if you're listening, chat with me. But okay. So when it ETBs, you get to exile a spell. It's kind of a counter spell. It's flying. It's pretty sweet. Migratory Route can create 4 birds or basic land cycling for 2. It works either way. Both ways it works. Unfulfilled Desires. This is probably going to do a little bit more work than Teferi, Master of Time. And it's doing very similar things. So maybe this works. Dousing Dagger gives them creatures, but you should be able to deal damage quite easy. It'll flip, and then it gets you 3 mana. It's nice ramp almost. So Painful Truths. Draw 3 cards, lose 3 life. Pretty sweet. And then Twilight Prophet, 2/4 flying, ascend. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have the City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the card's converted mana cost. So, kind of card advantage, kind of doing some stuff. And there's a lot of fucking cards already in here. The dagger is good. Thank you for. I haven't actually fit it into an EDH deck yet, and so we will see. Okay, this is we'll see if I can get through this tonight. All right, Raffine, I guess that makes the cut. All right, let's switch this up a little. Oh yeah, and then from last week, I added Sage of Hours, Crashing Drawbridge, and Dark Confidant back in along with Tainted Indulgence. So we will see if that works. Okay, I think this is in their piles. So going wide. Let's kind of okay, going wide, and then we'll see what else there is, and then try and cut from those piles. Is Empty the Pits, Rabble Rousing, Felicia, Fang of Silverquill, Hero of Bladehold, Brimaz, Adeline, Nadir Kraken, Chasm Skulker, Lingering Souls, Drake Haven, Malicious Pride, and Animation Module. I definitely have to cut that down. Let's see what else is added into there for going wide. Migratory Route, Blot Out the Sky, Elandra, Dusk Rose. Let's see here. Dread Summons, Tombstone Stairwell, Endrick Sar, Darien, Secure the Waste, SRAM's Expertise, Call the Coppercoats. Okay, that's what's getting added into this pile. There was a lot. I was thinking I wanted to go a little bit wider than I want. I don't know what I should be aiming for here other than like cool cards, stuff I want to work with a little bit. Call the Coppercoats is an awesome card for sure. SRAM's Expertise. It can't get so big. I don't care about everything's fairly cheap in here. I think we'll cut SRAM's Expertise. Oh. Alex is not liking Nadir Kraken. And then, I mean, Ramsey's asking how the card draw is. Raffine should be drawing me, 3-4 cards. And then I should be able to just, 1, and then just go wide pretty quick. And so, but having to pay for that is the trick, right? I'm going to cut SRAM's Expertise, Secure the Waste. I don't hate it. I probably like Call the Coppercoats better, but that's where we're at right now. Let's maybe set this up right there. All right, Secure the Waste is there. Darien King of Keldor. I like it. But I'm trying to lock kind of the board down, and that should happen before this, or try and stop them from attacking me. So I think this is probably too expensive for what I want to have happen. So we'll cut that. Endrick Sar. I think the 5 mana also kind of hurts it. So I think we probably get rid of that as well for now. It's still in the pile. I could still look it over and see what I really, really want to get rid of. Tombstone Stairwell. I think I like Dread Summons a little bit more because I can maybe reanimate my opponent's creatures a little bit better. I don't remember. I don't know which one would be better. I don't have to move it very much. So we'll say that's there. That's there. Blot Out the Sky. I like the idea of going wide and being able to destroy non-creature, non-land permanents. I'm down with that. Malicious Pride. I think this could make an army pretty quick. So we'll look at that later. Alanda, the Dusk Rose. I'm okay with that. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a neat idea. So I think we can go with that. Migratory Route. I'm okay with it, and I'm okay with Nadir Kraken. Oh shoot, Alex, you're on a little bit of a delay, so I don't know what you mean to say cut to. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. I like it. It's 3 mana. It can get big. Creates an army there. I like it. Animation module, I think, is going to do a lot of work here too. Kind of like Nadir Kraken. Almost always going to be putting counters on something if I'm being aggressive. Lingering Souls is sweet because I can play it from the graveyard. And it can create up to 4. So I think I probably like that better than Migratory Route. Route at 5 is a little bit rough. Uh Chasm Skulker, I like it. Brimaz, also like it. Hero of Blade Hold at that 4 spot might be fat. Felicia is kind of similar to Alonda, maybe a little bit more varied, maybe more interesting. And this was Zero's commander last year for Commander League. Rabble Rousing, I think, is sweet in here. Drake Haven goes wide and has flying and empty the pits. Is instant speed X. So we got a lot of instant speed X here. I like Blot Out the Sky because it is removal. So I want to probably keep that. This anybody ever actually play Dread Summons? Like, I feel like it create a ton of zombies if you hit right. Secure the Waste at instant speed, and so is Empty the Pits. I think Empty the Pits might get me more in this deck. And I've never played this one either. I've done Secure the Waste. I think it's a sweet card for sure. I think I want to do Empty the Pits, but it might depend on how many cards end up getting Delve in this deck. We'll see. I think I could try that one. And for now, I think I cut both these. I have that like planar collapse or cleansing, or I'm bringing basic lands from everybody's graveyard back into play. So I don't necessarily want to just like mill a bunch of people and then have give them the advantage too. Secure the Waste. I don't know how much land I'm actually going to have. And it doesn't have evasion. We can get rid of it. I think I can cut them. Cutting the Master Breeder is a good choice. It looks tempting in a go wide token deck, but it doesn't perform like you think it will. Empty the Pits might be a hard card to cast with the 4 black pips. Oh, that's a good point. That's actually a really good point with the 4 pips. Um, yeah, like Master Breeder is really good with like if you have a sack outlet. So like I had him in Yohini and he was nuts. He was nuts in there. But um here I don't have a sack outlet. He's just gonna naturally die. He's kind of expensive. I think you're right about Empty the Pits. Shit. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Secure the Waste is kind of just boring. Dread Summons. Yeah, yeah. And Prosh makes a ton of sense. Right, Zero? I totally agree there. Um, let's see. Let's see. Dread Summons. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be really cool. People hate being milled too. We'll cut it for now. I think Rabble Rousing is gonna be sweet in here. That totally works. Ain't that big of a difference between Streets of New Capenna and Strixhaven. Huh? All right. Um I like these two. I like the idea of putting counters on creatures and then like having a bonus if they die and stuff like that. Hero Blade Hold. I liked it. I kept that over the Leonin version of this because of the +1/+0 for all the other creatures that should be going. And that's a nice big bonus there. Um, I still don't dislike that idea. Tombstone, Stairwell could work. I'm not a huge fan of giving everybody else creatures. I think for now, and the upkeep is kind of rough. So I think right now I want to get rid of that, but there's potential there too. Uh, Took it out because his power. Because I powered the deck up. Yeah. Cut Tombstone. Okay, we're in the same idea there, Alex, aren't we? Yeah, the cumulative upkeep is expensive. All right. All right. So far, what do you guys think about Brimaz? I'm I like it because of the vigilance and being able to get it on the block and the attack. It's just not super impressive. I like Where the fuck did Adeline go? There we go. I had that fucked up. All right. 3, 3, 3, 2. All right. Plenty to choose from now. All right. I like Brimaz, but I don't know if it's like a go wide guy type thing. I'll keep it for now, but that might go. Skulker is going to be crazy in here. Lingering Souls, I like the idea of it. Call the Coppercoats. You guys were questioning Nadir Kraken. Is it just because of the paying one? I mean, it gets tall and it goes wide. Adeline is sweet. Drake Haven, you're discarding cards. 1, 1. So like if we don't like Nadir Kraken, then we don't technically like Drake Haven. If that's the real question right there. I don't know. You're thinking Brimaz and yeah, Brimaz can be in the maybe pile. I think that's fair. That's fair. Same thing with Drake Haven and Nadir Kraken. I think I like Lingering Souls or Adeline can stay. Lingering Souls. I like it just because there's that graveyard play a little bit. And Call the Coppercoats is an army in a can. 3, 4, 5. You probably only have to pay 5 and you're going to be making much more than 4 or 5 creatures. That's I think I like that as well. Malicious Pride probably goes wide, but it probably just dies and shit. Probably cut that. Probably cut that. And I really like Animation Module because it's just paying that one, but it's super cheap. All right. Let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's probably more than enough. 11, 12, 13. Cutting Brimaz, perspective wise. I want to do rabble rousing. Let's see here. Adeline, Lingering Souls, Call the Coppercoats. I'm going to Call the Coppercoats. I want to keep these two right now. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I want to get this down to at least like 10. For right now, going wide is good. Alonda might be less. All right. Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever it dies, create a 1/1 vampire creature token where it's Alanda's power. I like Felicia better because it puts 1/1 counters on stuff. And whenever a non-token creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, create X tapped 2/1 white and black inkling creature tokens. Flying. X is the number of counters it had on it. It has flying. This does not. These have nope, just blue tentacles. Flying. I think I'm going to cut Alunda. I think that works in my mind. It doesn't have evasion. It doesn't give creatures with evasion. It has to be it. And so I'd have to be going tall with Alonda. And it doesn't affect as many creatures. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm good with 10. All right. Let's see what this next section is. Elish Norn in the deck is probably pretty good. I don't have it, but in here, I do own it, but it's pretty high in the CMC cost. And I'm hoping just to like play a bunch of spells, attack with a bunch of creatures, and then like if I'm just playing one, it might be like an overrun style card. It's probably good, it's always fucking good. You're a monster, Ramsey. Putting Elish Norn in your Raw Dog deck, which is one he uses with rubber bands and no sleeves. He's fucking animal right there. All right, going tall. Shadowstorm Vizier. Dream Trawler, Shabraz, Archfiend of Spite, Embodiment of Agonies, Shadow Granger Archfiend, Soltari Visionary. No, those are just the go tall, go big. Oh, okay. Invisible Stalker, Nether Trader, Cunning Survivor, Bloodgast, Lazotep Chancellor, Slither Blade. All right, those are drawing discard effects. All right, so these are cards that get big on their own, or I would want to be putting counters on it because they're unblockable or hard to kill, stuff like that. Let's see what else would go in this bit of going tall. Um, Scourge, Tombstalker, Dream Stealer, Needle, Spectre. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh, okay. So I don't know how many cards I want to have this happen to. Let's get my. Let's see here. Since it looks like you're running Stacks package, I was thinking Elish Dorn could be part of that. Yeah, I think that can be a top end. I'm not gonna pull it out right now, but if I feel like it's there, I already got so many damn cards in this deck. How the hell am I gonna cut down to it already? All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Whew. All right. I like the idea of Needle Spectre and Dream Stealer. I think I like Dream Stealer better if I'm comparing the two, putting, paying 6 to have it come back if I need to. The discarding part can be a little mean, and I'm not able to go tall a whole ton if it doesn't naturally go tall. So I think we get rid of Needle Spectre off the bat, but I think we keep Dream Stealer just because of the Eternalize. Tombstalker. Let's keep that right. Let's see here. I like the idea of Scourge Neltoth working. I kind of want to get rid of Slitherblade because that's all it's doing. I'd rather have a flyer go in there that does something else. Tombstalker's already big, at least, and it could be cheap. We're playing from the graveyard enough. I think we don't need a ton of delve. Maybe we don't have any delve anymore other than, Treasure Cruise or whatever. Lazotep Chancellor can make a huge guy for one. Pretty quick. Bloodgast will come back. That's an easy discard. Cunning Survivor makes a ton of sense to me. Nether Trader and Invisible Stalker are kind of doing the same thing, like just unblockable and getting huge. Same thing with Soltari Visionary with destroying an enchantment. Archfiend is just for the madness. Same thing with Shadow Ranger and their removal. Embodiment just gets big. That's all it does. And I think it can get really big since I'm running 3 colors. But it does it on its own. It doesn't do anything else, which might be the problem with Scourge Denel Toth. Let's cut Embodiment of Agonies. Shabraz can give flying to a human. I don't know how many humans I got in here, but gaining the life and getting the counters on it should be and might be good enough. So it goes tall on its own. Same thing with Dream Trawler. It's going to get huge. It has a lifelink, draws you a card. It protects itself. It does more than Shabraz. I like that. And then Shadow Storm is pretty similar to that. All right. I like the removal. I think Scourge of Nel Toth goes away, even though it's graveyard bound. Because I don't really want to be sacrificing creatures. I don't really want that. I like the removal on these two. I like Dream Trawler probably the best, like lifelink, protection, and it's gonna get huge. Shabraz might be kinda doing the same thing, very similar without the protection. It's 1 cheaper. This just makes a huge it can block, it comes down early. Mm, I think Invisible Stalker goes away. Even though it has protection, it's not something that I wanna be putting the counters on necessarily, and I should be having there enough. You know, Nether Trader is able to come back whenever I need it to a little bit, kinda like Bloodghast as well. It's there to be able to be pitched and then bring back later on, to whereas Invisible Stalker is just unblockable and can survive. Obadiah is saying, Raffine is cool and all, but I still feel like we're overlooking some gems in this set. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. There's gonna be some cool cards. So cut that. Shabraz, Lazotep. I like these two quite a bit because they can block, they come down early, and then they're unblockable and can get huge. We'll see what happens with that in the removal package. Um, so right now, these two are questionable, and I should probably just cut them. I have so many cards to cut. I should probably just cut them. That is what we're doing, which is sad. I like the Chancellor quite a bit. I think he can go tall pretty nice, but just gotta cut him. All right. Anyone here excited? Oh, you're just okay. Professor collecting for the Kickstarter. Yeah. All right. This is gonna be draw and discard benefits. So Bone Miser, Psychosis Crawler, Feast of Sanity, Faith of the Devoted, Mist Stagnation, Diviner's Wand. Is that all there is now? Ooh. Archfiend of Ifnir. Signal Pest should have probably been in the last batch, and I'll put them in that batch. Give me the bonus. Um, there is Ruthless Sniper. Let's see here. There's All Seeing Arbiter. Let's see here. Do. Anything else? Drawing discard benefits. Currency converter. It seems pretty cool. We got All Hemrites, Toothy, Teferi, Ageless Insight, Dahlia's Ploy. I don't even know. I might have missed those. Yeah, we're probably going to start getting into cards that I added on accident. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so you're seeing those are all like the bonuses of drawing cards and stuff like that. So Toothy is kind of in there going tall as well. So off of drawing, going tall, that's probably on the last bit too. Archive and Ageless Insight are just going to give huge bonuses for Raffine's trigger. I like it a lot. Currency Converter is going to trigger when you discard those cards. The Hida's Ploy, draw 2 cards and discard a card. You gain life equal to the number of cards you've discarded this turn. It also has Jumpstart. So I think it works really well. It can gain you a bunch of life. It might just be a little bit expensive, but I'll probably cut that more when I'm looking at discarding. All Seeing Arbiter can have a lot of creatures hard to attack you. Ruthless Sniper is discarding, paying 1, putting 1/1 counter, -1 counters. Archfiend of Ifnir totally works here. I think we get rid of Ruthless Sniper. I think it's not going to attack. I think that's the problem. Diviner's Wand gets huge. Mist of Stagnation works. Paying 1, pinging everybody. Pinging everybody for free, pinging everybody off the draw, getting a lot of benefit there. The only one I really don't like is to hit his ploy, so let's just cut that off the bat. We might be cutting a lot of cheap cards here, but we'll see what happens. Toothy sweet. Toothy sweet, man. The Ozolith and resourceful defense is just like if creatures with counters die, you're able to shift those around. I think that's pretty sweet. Dam is removal, retribution of the ancients, removal, swords, path, vengeful pharaoh is cool, Karlov, vindicate, anguished unmaking, void rend. I think that's my removal in here. Pew pew pew. Yep. Let's see if we were adding anything there. For removal. Let's see here. Fauna's Hunger. Cleansing Meditation. All right. So not a lot there to like be worried about. I like Cleansing Meditation here. Fauna's Hunger. I like him a lot more. I think we get rid of Void Rend. I think, one-offs just aren't going to be good enough. That costs 3 mana. It is instant speed though. Anguished Unmaking, I like. Just instant speed hits everything, easier to cast. Vindicate being a sorcery is probably gone. Karlov, probably has a shot. Vengeful Pharaoh always goes in the graveyard. I like it. Path, swords, retribution, and Dam. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think Hunger probably comes in and takes the place of that. I think that probably helps out a lot more. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm all right with that. We'll probably go CMC after this. So reanimation, dealing with that. So Storm of Souls, Tortured Existence. Is that it for reanimation? I cut a lot there, didn't I? Yep. Let's see if there's anything else. If it's just Command the Dread Horde. I think you just discard until you got it. Yeah, I like all 3 of them. I'm not going to be worried about that. That's not taking up a ton of spots. All right, protection would be Collective Restraint, Frontline Medic, and at least in that we have some counter spells that we'll put off to the side. Swiftfoot Boots, Greaves, Reconnaissance. No. All right, that's probably it. I guess I'm going to put Crashing Drawbridge in with the reanimation because that's kind of what I want. That'd be Spell Queller, Judge's Familiar. Darkness. Magus of the Moat. Ghostly. Island Sanctuary. Archetype of Imagination. Propaganda. Teferi's Veil. Cunning Evasion. That probably just doubled what I... Oh, no. Counter spells don't go in there yet. Silly me. All right. It's quite a bit. I don't want the crackback, which is that stuff. And then my attack being unblocked or being able to be dealt with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Swiftfoot Boots. Yeah, Reconnaissance is totally in. Yeah. I think, I like Boots and Greaves. Just being able to protect Raffine is going to be pretty important. Darkness can probably get cut. And probably Collective Restraint. Just to try and lower the curve a little bit. I think Island Sanctuary, I always try and fit it in. I always end up cutting it, but I think it go really well in this deck. Propaganda, Ghostly Prison, Magus of the Moat makes sense to me. Yeah, we'll cut those two. We'll keep those for now. Cunning Evasion, Teferi's Veil, Archetype of Imagination, Reconnaissance, Frontline Medic. Frontline Medic allows me just to be belligerent with my attacks. 2 other creatures attack. It has that sacrifice countering X spells potentially. So I like that a little bit. Reconnaissance makes it. And I think Teferi's Veil makes it. A nice thing about Cunning Evasion could be like if I'm running out of cards that I want to discard, I can return. I got a little bit of tokens there. I think Cunning Evasion could make the deck, but I don't think it makes this deck. I don't have enough ETB triggers to really be happy about it. And this might be like game winning, but at the same time, like not at 6 mana. 6 mana is a lot. I think we cut that just because of the mana, the curve. All right, let's see what kind of counter spells. All right. Yeah. Alex is saying it's expensive. All right. Spell Queller, Cerulean Drake, Malevolent Hermit, Mausoleum Wanderer, Hope of Gurpur, Siren, Storm Tamer. Definitely didn't have this deck perfect. Shit. All right. Having Go Lich is going in with the reanimation, and I agree with that. I missed that. Sorry. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess. All right. So those are kind of like counter spells that have flying. This has flying on the backside. My stuff can't be countered. I kind of like all of that. Anything going to be added in there from this batch? Ooh, I don't think so. Nope. All right. So I kind of like all these. They're cheap, they're evasive, and they can be sacrificed for anything. Mausoleum Wanderer gets really bonkers because it's, sacrificed for its power, easy to potentially bring back. I don't have any qualms with any of these cards. We'll keep those. All right. Getting into the ramp package. Oh, Alex, I did think about adding in Ornithopter in here. Because I agree. I think it'd be really sweet. But it just didn't do anything extra, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Okay. Ramp package, Grim Hireling, Crucible of Worlds, Feast and Famine, Stormscape Familiar, Ornithopter of Paradise. Does that work? Talisman, Fellwar Stone, Signet, Planar Birth is what I was talking about earlier. Like, don't really want my opponents discarding cards. That's why I don't have wheels and stuff. Oh, yeah. Alex, okay, yeah. Ornithopter. I thought you were talking about the 0-drop O2 flyer. Yeah, this giving mana, I think it's perfect in this deck. Ornithopter of Paradise. If you don't have this, go get it. It's such a good card for off-green decks. Like, it's perfect. The oop? I don't know what you mean, Ramsey. What's the oop? I don't know what that is. But Planar Birth is sweet. Wayfarer's Bauble. I wanted to try Moonstare Prototype and Springleaf Drum. They're cheap. I should have tons of creatures to be able to just kind of tap down. Soul Ring, perfect. Land Tax is going to help fill up your graveyard or your hand, so that's nice. Treasure Cruise is the delve drawing cards. Timna, you should be able to attack 3 creature or 3 opponents pretty easy. Pay 3 life, draw 3 cards. That should be really nice. Oh, okay. OP. I gotcha. I did not make that connection. Totally works for bop and oop. Op. Do we call it op and bop? All right. Timna should work really well here. First Sphere Gargantuan is just the Unearth, playing from the graveyard, drawing you a card, attacking. Grizzlax is drawing cards. Ledger Shredder should be able to get big. I think it's cheap. It's easy. Baleful Strix, one of my favorite cards ever printed. It's so fucking good. Chart Course is. Oh, we're getting into drawing cards. Sorry, I got aggressive there. All right, where did we? Are we supposed to stop for ramp? Soul Ring. I consider land tax, land or hand filler in this one. All right, is the last bit just all drawing? Okay. All right, any ramp that I'm talking about. All right, draw, 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 draw. We'll call that ramp. Any other ramp? Draw, 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 draw. All right. Not a whole ton added in other than the stadium, which I think is a really cool idea here. So I kind of want to play with it and see if it'll make it. You down with OOP? Yeah, you know me. Yeah, that just that dated us all. All right. All right. Strixhaven State 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's probably the minimum that we would want. Plenty of twos. 3, 3, 4, 5. I'm kind of fine with that. I don't hate it. Oop, oop, oop. So that's where we're at. We're doing all right with the cutting though here. All right, we got plenty of draw here. Loyal Drake, Curiosity. Oop. Curious Obsession, Brainstorm, Necropotence, Unfulfilled Desires, Painful Truths, Twilight Prophet, Dark Confidant, Tainted Indulgence, Ledger Shredder, Grizzlax, First Sphere, Timna, Treasure Cruise, Land Tax, Baleful Strix, Chart a Course, Deep Analysis, Fairy Seer, Winged Words, which is something I missed, I think, but it's drawing 2 cards for 2. Sig, River Cutthroat, and Consecrated Sphinx. There's plenty there, plenty to choose from. Let's see if we're in that realm of where I would want to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. All right, right off the bat, I'm afraid of Dark Confidant. Like I want to fit it in, but I'm not confident enough to put it in here. So I'm just going to cut that. I'm going to just try and aim to cut like 3 cards from this section. So I like that because it has evasion that would attack. Sig would never attack, so I think I cut that off the bat. Winged Words is like a spell. I don't know how much I love it, but it is instant, it's just a little bit of a push there. Fairy Seer, I like for the evasion. That's paying 2. Basically, it's a discard. I like this over that. Chart a Course, same thing. Baleful Strix. Land Tax. Treasure Cruise is that burst draw. Timna makes more sense. It's drawing 3 rather than just the 1. Makes a ton more sense to me. I would attack with that. Grizzlax makes sense. That's a burst. That makes sense. Right there. Loyal Drake, and then Curiosity in that. So I think this is probably my weak spot where I don't necessarily care. So I like Deep Analysis here. Being able to play from the graveyard. I think Treasure Cruise is nice because I'll be able to draw 3 for 1. And then I probably should have read the bones here. All right, I'm getting behind. 90s gang, but Bob. Twilight, same argument as Bob, right? Bob is gone now. Let him be. I like Twilight Prophet, but maybe cut. Chat over winged. Our chart over winged. Chart is good though as well. Yeah, chart of course is sweet. But like 2 for 1 isn't a whole ton. I think I'd rather have like painful truths. And so chart winged brainstorm. Brainstorm might be solid because it just digs for what you potentially need and it's cheap. This is draw 2, draw 2, draw 2. I don't hate these, but I think these might be better. Read the Bones probably has a shot at a spot in here, but I'd also have to look at my my curve. So Treasure Cruise probably is the weakest, but I want to use a little bit of Delve there. Um but also I have cards that deal with discarding, right? Do I hate that? Like these aren't bad in any situation. Um We'll cut them. I think we cut those 3. We got to we didn't have to cut the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The reason why I want to try and keep the creatures is because I am creature focused. Like I want to draw a bunch of cards. I want to be able to trigger Raffine, draw 5 cards, discard 5 cards, and make something big. Twilight Prophet might be expensive. I can agree with that. I could discard First Sphere Gargantuan. Timna's probably the weakest one out of the bunch, but it's drawing me 3 cards per turn. Like, that's pretty good. I'd rather cut Loyal Drake probably than Twilight Prophet. Maybe Baleful Strix, but it's a damn good blocker. I'm willing to cut Loyal Drake over Twilight Prophet. And I kind of like the idea of Curious Obsession and Curiosity, but I don't know if that's the right call or not. I probably cut too much draw. Let's go back and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I cut too much. All right, let's go back. 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's just be happy those are in there for now. And then what is the new blue Birdman, Mr. Parks? I'm not sure. Ramsey, you're probably right. You're probably right. Read the Bones is good. It's good. Okay, these are just randoms that I didn't end up fitting into it wherever. Sage of Hours, I wanted to get that back in just because if it can get through, um, I basically win the game, right? Like at least for a bit. Like I take that person out. I don't know. Is that a combo? Would um would people be pissed if I went Sage of Hours and basically infinite turns? I don't know. Let me know on that. That's a maybe. Dousing Dagger. Um I think I could easily trigger it. Anyone? That might go into like the ramp package. That might be worth it. Angel's Trumpet probably is worth it because that can make other people aggressive. Dagger is ramp. Okay, you're agreeing with me on that. Yep, we'll fit that in there. This is probably maybe a protection me, like that goes near propaganda or whatever. Filth is probably also protection, like stopping my stuff from being uh blocked. Even Mind Sensor is just hate. That's protection. I think Archon just gets. We'll bin that. I don't think that's good enough. Guardian Savior probably isn't enough. I have 5 pieces of recursion now. That's more than enough. So Guardian Savior can go. Hushwing, I still like. Guardian of Faith is nice protection. Donnell, Herald of Wings. Whenever you cast a non-legendary creature spell with flying, you may copy it, except the copy is a 1/1 spirit in addition to its other types. Do this only once each turn. I don't have much flash. These two for flyers. Non-legendary. I'd have to look at how much. I think we're gonna cut Donnell, but I think it'd be perfect in here. Okay. Glad that you like the idea of Angel's Trumpet, Alex. I think it's kind of was going to be a cool ad when I was adding in more like "Don't attack me" type stuff. I'm going to cut Donnell. I still like these. Probably they go in like the counterspell section. They're stopping people. I probably need Teferi's Protection in here as well. Let me see if I can find a proxy of that real quick. All right. Let's see here. So we'll use the Magneto one. There we go. We'll use that in there. All right. Raffine, Teferi's Protection. It's just a nice way to keep those counters around. All right. Plenty here, though, still. That's definitely like 150 cards. All right. Let's do the CMC thing. All right. See where everything at. That's free. 3, 2, 3. I don't like Sage of Hours. I was worried that it's kind of a combo card, and it kind of is, and so I'm not going to add that in. We'll cut that. 3, 2, 2. That's technically 2. 6, 1. I added the other ones in. I might cut Brainstorm off right here too. I think I'm okay with getting rid of that. I mean, it's nice and cheap and shit, but God damn. Hopefully, theoretically, that's just 1. That's 2, 3. Necropotence might go away just because of the triple black. That could be a consideration. Land tax, Coach Shredder. That's theoretically 3, 3, 2. Fairy Seeker. 2s. 3, 4, 5. 2, 2. All right. So, okay. Frontline Medic. I'm okay with it. 5, 6. Theoretically free. Oop. Let's see here. 4, 3, 5. Maybe 6. 5. That is a 3. That's probably just 2. 4, 4. All right. So we're fat in the 1, 2s, and 3s, which I'm good with. Happy about that. It's kind of where I like to play around with. I don't go over the top too much. Let's see here. Mr. Parks did not even know Donald existed. So that's hopefully what I'm doing here a little bit, teaching you about or having you experience and learn about new cards. Going from the top down. Um, All Seeing, Storm of Souls, Command the Dreadhorde, Consecrated Sphinx, Sephara, Blot Out the Sky. I don't hate any of these. I think I'm going to go back to Necropotent, so I'm going to cut that. I think, I mean, it's fucking good, but I think we can get rid of that, and I want to keep Consecrated Sphinx. All right, Archfiend of Spite. I like it just because I want to play around with Madness a little bit. Archfiend of Ifnir is crazy. Mist of Stagnation is going to be really good. Psychosis Crawler, Bone Miser, All Hemrites, Archive, Havenghoul Lich, Feast and Famine, Rabble Rousing. I mean, I can just see dropping this and having it be, an 8/8 or a 9/9 for 5. That's gain me life. I like the idea of it. I'm not super fat up there. Hero of Bladehold makes sense. Felicia makes sense. Toothy draws me a ton of cards. Feast of Sanity is going to work. Teferi, Magus of the Moat, Grim Hireling. Twilight Prophet probably gets the cut. I don't think I have enough top end stuff that isn't an X. Maybe that's questionable, but I think it's too slow. It's probably just too slow. Oh. How long do I have time making myself a deck? I made a deck last week and spent like 6 hours straight and forgot to go to bed. Ugh. I'm usually in the 3 to 4 area for first pass, then tend to goldfish a ton and throw it all away and start again. Alex said that. Steven is saying, I don't think a deck should be made in a certain amount of time. Wrong deck for such a great card. Um, how long does it take me? It just depends. Like this one, Raffine has a ton of cards to choose from, a lot of synergies that you can be in. This one probably is going to take me a lot longer. Just gathering the cards takes me roughly like the first pass, probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then once I made all my cuts last time and I went through it again, that probably took me like another hour to hour and a half. And then, last week's was 2 hours. This week is already an hour 12. Um, and then I'll whittle, and then I'll goldfish later and then change stuff around. I'm always changing decks as well. So like tops, it's probably in the 6 to 8 hour range total, maybe 10. But I don't do anything straight. Like straight, is probably like 2, 3 hours at most. And then I like to give my brain a break about thinking about cards and then coming back to it later and going, why was I thinking this was good? And if I can't remember, then it probably wasn't good enough. Um, so yeah, I'd say I pace myself. Like I don't worry about getting it all done right away, Mr. Parks. So I should put Hall Breacher in the deck. We didn't we got it banned, yes, but that was not my fault. Chasm, that was you guys' fault actually. So the worst idea ever. Adeline, Chasm Skulker, Drake Haven, Nadir Kraken, Visionary. I think this at 3 mana is too much. We'll cut that. Shadow Granger, I want to because of the madness. Just it's huge. It looks sweet. Faith of the Devoted. I like that. Cleansing Meditation, like Anguish Unmaking just for a little bit of spot removal. Resourceful Defense. Mostly Prison. Spell Queller. Strixhaven. Crucible of Worlds. And this allows me to just like throw lands away willy-nilly. I don't have any problem with that. Timna makes sense. First Sphere, Gargantuan. Unfulfilled Desires. I hate well, no, this works. The drawing, the discarding works shit tons well, in this deck. Painful Truce makes sense. Grazilex, Guardian of Faith, Aven, Hushwing, Angel's Trumpet, and Teferi's Protection. I didn't dislike any of those. Shit. Cut one card from that batch. Not doing well here now, guys. Lingering Souls makes sense to me. Bloodghast is going to get cut. We'll cut that. Cutting Survivor, Shadowstorm Vizier. Let's cut Nether Trade. Well, it has Shadow. I don't have beep, 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 beep. I don't have a problem with that. Karlov makes sense to me. Crashing Drawbridge, Greaves, Boots, Island Sanctuary, Teferi's Veil, Hermit, Drake. I think I'm going to cut Folwar Stone for the Dowsing Dagger. Strix makes sense. Ledger Shredder, Deep Analysis, Winged Words, Charter Course, Tainted Indulgence. All right. This last bit. Animation modules, making tokens. This is a little boost, and it's evasive. Converter's good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. This is fucking tough. Yeah. Yep. Land tax, obsession, curiosity, treasure cruise, and filth. Well, that didn't help a ton. Shit. Let's see here. Let's do it into piles of card types. All right. Creature, artifact, sorceries. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. Boop. Artifacts, enchantment. Just too much going on. Like I was saying, like I want to do too much, and I need to figure out how to make it smaller, if that makes sense. Enchantment. No, I play at way too much sorcery speed, but it's also fun. I like that. I like repeatable effects. Something like Faiths of the Devoted, stuff like that. If people remove my stuff the next turn, I'm just kind of like, boop, another threat is out. I don't have a problem with that. But Wraths can wreck me. I can admit that. Artifacts. All right. Let's see here. All right. No walkers. I'm okay with that. I considered a Gideon and a Soren because they give pumps and stuff like that. But we'll not worried about that. And a Johnny Vengeance. All right. Instant speed. I'm digging all these cards. Tainted Indulgence seems pretty damn good. So if you see those in the bulks, pick them up for sure. I don't hate any of those cards. Treasure Cruise, Lingering Souls. I mean, like, that's technically a creature. Chart a Course and Winged Words. Um, in this deck, I don't hate any of those. I think we cut Painful Truths. I want to do that. Blot Out the Sky, Command the Dreadhorde, Storm of Souls. Command the Dreadhorde might be a little aggressive, but might be nice as well. All right, let me catch up here. If it's go wide, is it tokens or more go tall and incremental increase in threats? Connive here is a little tricky. Like add unblockable and tokens and connive the unblockable. I mean, that's what I'm looking to have the flying creatures do. Being able to go tall. And then there's some cool stuff. I agree. It's not a lot of tokens, but there is definitely some. Um Plenty of ways to make tokens. So I think I'm cutting Lingering Souls. I think I have plenty of creatures here, and I gotta cut down on those too. I have ways to make tokens. Let's do artifacts. Like I like animation module in here. Ozolith, currency converter, soul ring, wayfarer, moon snare, boop boop, arcane, dousing dagger to something. 3 crucible makes sense. Strixhaven stadium. I'm trying. I want to have fun. All right, Angel's Trumpet. I don't know if that really fits here. I don't think it fits. I think I'm going to cut it for this one. I'll find a deck for it one day. All right. Artifacts are done. Voidwalker. My Delphi Voidwalker is actually potentially going into my Umbris deck for now, and I don't have a proxy for it. So maybe later on if I try either or, but it's not going I won't try it here yet. Tortured Existence makes sense. Reconnaissance. Boom boom. Teferi's Veil makes sense. Veil of the Devoted. Like I like the idea of Teferi's Veil quite a bit because like you're avoiding those wraths that your opponents are have. They can't kill it. That's pretty sweet. Faith of the Devoted, Drake Haven, Propaganda, Ghostly Prison. I mean, it just seems insane. Not it seems very good in here. Unfulfilled Desires, Feast of Sanity, Fury, Mist, and Rabble Rousing. I am not doing a good job here. All right. I'm not sure if Adam wants to make a proxy of Voidwalker, but maybe it just goes in more and more decks at this point too. Counterspell, Hope of Gurpur. This is I think I'm gonna cut Hope just because it it's a guess. It's a little bit of a guess. And so it kind of works if you're about to kill somebody off or need one more turn. Yeah, we'll cut that. I pulled extra of those. Delphi just seems smart to me. Yeah, I mean Delphi makes sense. It's a damn cool card and gains you advantage. Um, I like it. Very Seer, Filth. Um, maybe Filth is just a little too redundant. Let's cut that. You know, I probably just don't need to. Everything has some sort of evasion. If it doesn't work, then you're just kind of fucked. Like I don't need the backup evasion. Cunning a Survivor, Shadow Storm makes sense to me. Nether Trader. I'm gonna cut Nether Trader. I don't think I need that. Karlov. It has the gain life part, and there's a couple of things in here that gain me life. Counter. And then non-creature spells you control can't be countered. And has flying at that point. Blocker, I like it. Protection from red. Counter target spell that targets you. I don't dislike that. Whenever a player casts their second spell, this will connive all the time. This card's really good. Baleful Strix. White spells and black spells makes sense. Ornithopter of Paradise makes sense. I like it. Nadir Kraken might be getting to that point where I might want to. I like it that it goes tall and wide. Tall and wide. Tall, then wide. Boom. Timna the Weaver. Makes sense to me. Spell Queller. Frontline Medic. I think I want to cut Hushwing Griff. I mean, it'll cut off Adam's Yarok deck. I'm okay with that. We tend to use Hermit. Yeah. All right. Cutting that. Hushwing Griff. Probably should play it. I don't know. Aven Mind Sensor. Guardian of Faith. Yeah. All right. Grazilax. Felicia. Hero of Bladehold. I think I'm cutting Hero and Signal Pest. I probably just don't need the boosts like I'm thinking I need them or want them. Toothy makes sense. Magus is probably, it's good enough. It'll be pretty solid. Grim Hireling is going to be good ramp. Archfiend of Spite makes sense to me, just as a madness card. Archfiend of Ifnir, Psychosis Crawler, Bone Miser, Heavengold Lich, Shabraz, Safara, Consecrated Sphinx. I have plenty of flying in here. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 on the backside. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right now we're at 20, 21. I like the protection. Did I just cut the aggression? Yeah, Angel's Trumpet. Since I cut Trumpet, I'm probably okay cutting Magus of the Moat. I have a handful of other cards that work there. I think there's enough to make Skyblade still kind of work. I think I'm fine with that. No, I'm keeping Felicia. Yeah, Filth is great. Filth is great for self-mill or whatever that you're doing. And they haven't reprinted it either, which is kind of weird. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 39, 58, 76, 85, 91. All right. In a doable range, I got to cut 30. I'll get down to 61. I like to have 38 land. So there's that. Yeah, is less than I thought too. I've been working at it. We've been doing all right. Ugh. All right. Anyone got 30 more cards to cut. Let's put them back in the categories like where we started, just to kind of eye them up a little bit better. Protection, removal. I don't know what to do with counter spells. That is draw. This is going tall. Removal. Consider haste a bit of protection. Counter spells. This is a draw. Draw. Ramp. Ramp. Removal. That was kind of a going tall, making tokens. That is draw a card. Draw a card. Protection. Counterspell. This is protection. That's drawing. Going tall or going wide? Going wide. Maybe there. Wide, tall, wide and tall. This is drawing cards. Removal, removal. Technically going tall, I guess. This can be anything. Ramp or draw. It's probably neither, but does both. We'll put that there. Reanimation? All right, we got to do something with this. We're gonna say this is all protection here. Maybe that's removal. Reanimation. That is going tall. This is drawing cards. Technically removal. Technically drawing cards. Say it's going wide. We could say that's going wide. Protection. Drawing cards. Removal. Drawing cards. Protection. And it's technically going tall. Wide. Not sure what that is. That'd be protection. Protection. Drawing cards. This is discarding, but it's reanimate. Removal. Technically going wide, but removal. Draw. A lot of protection. I'm glad that I did this. It's going tall. Going wide. Going tall. That is ramps. All right. How much draw do I have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't hate 20. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't hate that either. Kind of got some cool stuff going on. So that's 37. Ugh. You count counters as removal? I don't really play with counter spells. I'll admit that. We talk about it on the podcast, but I do it to protect my own stuff. Lightning Greaves, but we can count it as removal too. I don't have a problem against that, especially here. That's what we're so damn fat. In the reconnaissance mission, Teferi's Veil, Propaganda, Mrs. Stagnation, I think is good. Spell Queller, Drake, bloop, bloop, bloop. Protection. That's all protection. So, all right. Guardian of Faith, Mist of Stagnation. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps permanents for each card in his or her graveyard. Because I don't want crackback. I want my creatures to be protected. And maybe Teferi's Veil. I think we cut Teferi's Veil. I think we cut that. That's all right. I like that. I like that still as a chance, but I mean, like, the removal part, it's huge for the indestructible, protects Raffine and a bunch of other cards. Uh that is true, Mr. Parks. When you're adding -1/-1 counters to the field, you're actually plussing the amount of counters on the field. Yes, I agree. Saphira Skyblade. I I like the idea of it. Maybe this is one of them that probably gets added in later when I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I have plenty of flyers." Frontline Medic is a counterspell along with protection. Guardian of Faith makes sense. Yep, yep, yep. Still, I like it. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, we'll keep those. We're fine with that. Removal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21. Yeah, that probably needs to. That makes sense. Boom, boom. I can get this down to like 70. We're at an hour and a half. Okay. I'm going to cut this off at 2 hours though, guys. All right. So 11 o'clock roughly. I don't have much time, but we'll get there. I don't play Cyclonic Rift all the time. All right. Dempsey, that's Adam. I try and avoid those kind of cards. I don't have Ristic Study in here either. I try and only use them if I need them. And maybe I do end up needing Cyclonic Rift later on, but it's something that I want to add later on instead of like force it in every deck. Spell Queller, Fun is Hunger, Vanquish Unmaking, Path, Swords, Destroy all enchantments. We'll cut that. I don't think we need it. Other decks maybe, but Blot Out the Sky makes sense because it can hit enchantments, artifacts. That's creatures. I like that it's just free discard damage to anything and then gaining life. All-Seeing Arbiter, flying. Even Mind Sensor, Archfiend. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to it, that source's controller loses that much life unless they sacrifice that many permanents. Okay with that. Like that. And that. Karlov. Does Karlov work here? Move 6 counters from Karlov, exile target creature. I mean, I still like it. Drake Haven. I like Felicia. Rabble Rousing. Bone Miser. I like Drake Haven because it's probably going to stick around a lot better. Ozolith. Draw a card. I'm gonna cut Diviner's Wand. How many wizards do I have? That is, I think some of one. It's just not going to happen for free all the time. 2, 3. Unlikely. We'll get rid of wand. Shabraz, because I was thinking it's just like it's build your own Shabraz. Shabraz might need to be cut too, but these just make sense. All right, 8th. I like that as well. What's here? Lydia Kraken. Adeline. Vigilance is nice. I'm going to cut Nadir Kraken. I'm going to keep Drake Haven. Where's my reanimate stuff? I like them all. All right. Anybody see anything they hated? There's enough in here. Let's see here. All right, we're gonna pick this up just to see. I'm assuming you're talking about archive here. Let's go through and see all the instances of life gain along with Karlov. I think that's everything that. So, sorry. All right. Life gain is Feast of Sanity. Um, let's see here. Because this is a good point. Lifelink. Lifelink, but not really. I wouldn't consider that something. Snare prototype. It's starting to look like there's not enough. Yeah. Vigilance. There's a gain lifer. That's gaining life. Drake Haven. All right. That is not a lot of instances of life gain. 4 plus Timna is 1. Like, I like these, but I think you're right. I think that's too expensive, and I don't think that's gonna work enough. Good call. Thank you. We'll cut those 2. Be aggressive there. Whenever you cycle a discard card. Yep. Good call, Alex, for sure. There's more than this. All right. Now hear me out. Vampiric Tutor into a lifelinker. I mean, you're not wrong. We don't play tutors. I don't play a lot of tutors. So I don't not considering those right now either. All right. So what's some other corner cases? Let's see here. We have no. We got that. Just eye it up. Even Mind Sensor kind of feels out of place to me, but I don't know like where it would fit in place. Like this isn't a hateful deck per se. Let's cut it. I like people squirm though. Remove 1/1s to give creatures -1/-1. How tall is that going to be? Blot out the sky. Path. Anguished. Faunus Hunger. Spell Queller. I don't know. Oof. I am goddamn stuck. Unfulfilled. Maybe. I think we're going to cut these 2. I like those in here. With cutting archive, do you think I cut Teferi's Ageless Insight as well? I think it goes bonkers, but then I'm just discarding more cards. It's probably better if I can just. Yeah, that's pretty good. Sphinx is good. Toothy. Grazilax. I'm going to cut Timna. It's basically, if it was an enchantment, I'd fucking keep it, but I'm not attacking with that thing. Baleful Strix. Ledger Shredder. Fairy Seer. Makes sense to me. All right. So you're thinking Mind Sensor seems off too. I mean, that makes sense. I do like the idea. Like, I think to Furious Ageless Insight, like if I just drop that and attack with 4 creatures, draw 8, discard 4, that seems like a huge win. Um, but let's all I need is one vote of confidence to get rid of Haven Mind Sensor. I think it's good. It just seems a little off in here. So we'll call that. Insight makes sense. Crucible. Let's cut Crucible and keep Planar Birth. Just being able to kind of do that. All right. Talismans makes sense. Signet. Dagger. Um I'm gonna cut Moon Snare, but keep Springleaf Drum for now. If there's Bauble makes sense. Soul Ring. Currency Converter makes sense. Feast and Famines, like take an extra turn without having everybody groan. I know Timna doesn't need to attack, but fine. It just won't attack. But damn, it's good, right? Damn, it's a good card. I'm trying to make cuts, Dempsey. Come on. Grim Hireling. I don't have a lot of treasures, but it'd be gaining me, ramping me 3 each turn. That'd be huge. You control deals combat damage to a player. Create. Oh, it's only 2. Holy shit. So it'd be 6? That's pretty fucking good. That's crazy good. Ornithopter can get pumped here. Familiar. Yeah. Ghostly. Miss of Stagnation's gonna lock everybody down. Guardian of Faith, Frontline Medic, Crashing Drawbridge. These seem, they make sense. It makes sense to me. Shit. All right, where am I at now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I count that right? Man, just fucking wasting time now, aren't I? 1, 2, 3. 20. 20. 20. 20. All right, so I'm at 81. So I was able to make 10 cuts there. That ain't too bad. All right. Better than I thought, right? All right, 81. We got 20 more to cut. And I have 10-ish minutes. Okay. If you're attacking multiple players, then Timna is so good in this deck. I agree. With the Flyers, I'd keep it 6/6. Yeah. 19 lands should be enough. What the do you even Yeah, 2 cards a minute. All right. All right. Let's raw dog shuffle this a little bit. I don't know. Oh yeah. That was the thing that I forgot way at the beginning. Remember to hit that like button, please. And if you're the people that are here live, I know that they're subbed, but if you like what's going on, you like to see the torment and toil over a deck, and if you've learned anything, give it a subscribe as well. That'd be appreciated. Fuck. All right. How do we do this? We just did what's going on. Let's do another CMC version. See where we're at. try and reduce this down again. I think I got to reduce in this part. But I think we're doing all right as well. Maybe a thought is Storm the Soul is just like perfect for this deck, but maybe Command the Dreadhorde isn't, because I mean I could pull from other people's, which could be crazy. Have a little bit of life gain. I don't know how effective that will be. Effectively one there. Two. But maybe Command the Dreadhorde doesn't need a spot. Maybe. This is effectively 2. 1. I mean, it seems like it would make sense here. So I don't have a problem with it. 2 2. I'm gonna get rid of All Seeing. Okay, let's read this all. All Seeing Arbiter enters the battlefield or attacks. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. That's kind of nice. And then whenever you discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets -X/-0 until your next turn, where X is the number of different mana values among cards in your graveyard. And so more than likely, I'd be able to choose theoretically like 5 creatures to get -4/-0. That seems pretty good, but maybe not for 6, but it does draw you 2 and discarding 1. Um, I'll have to look that over. 5, I like the madness part. I think people stop in their tracks. You know, there's the blasphemous act people that would. Yeah. Yeah. Archvenus fight gets probably pretty crazy on the crackbacks. Like it stopped people for sure. Um, Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on Toothy. When Toothy leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each 1/1 counter on it. Yeah, I'm right with that. Consecrated Sphinx. Adeline. Boom. Just some removal. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's a 3-er. 1, 2, 3. That's 0. 3, 3, 2, and 1. Starting to feel like a real deck, though. All right. So I think I like the idea of Command the Dreadhorde probably better than Havengul Lich. And so I think I'm going to end up cutting Lich first, because I think the big thing is trying to draw into one of these two to gain a huge advantage from your graveyard. Havengul I think is nice incremental, and it might, it's probably really good in here too, but having to cast those creatures and do it over and over, like I think just a one shot is pretty good. All right. You're saying also with no sack outlet, you are relying on someone else getting rid of Toothy for you to draw from it. I think that's a good point, but it could get huge in this deck. Think of how many cards I'm going to be drawing with it. I can be reckless with it. Yeah. I like Blot Out the Sky. I agree. Sphinx makes sense. I like both of these. Um, I kind of like both of these. Like the top end isn't huge, right? I don't have any problem with having this many. Sphinx might not have a place. I think just to play All-Seeing Arbiter, I would cut Sphinx over even though Sphinx is crazy. So good. Um, but I think I'd prefer to do that. All right. On to the 6 or 5s. Yeah. Feast and Famine just allows me those extra turn. Ifnir's in. Archfiend of Spite, I think is in. Bone Miser, totally. Rabble Rousing, yeah. I like Mist of Stagnation and Psychosis Crawler. So I got rid of the 2 cards that interact with life gain. I still have a couple of cards that interact with like counters being put on it, and like naturally, I think it'd get huge, kind of like Toothy. And so, would I rather have Shabraz or Toothy? Grim and Felicia, I think they're both. I think they're both crazy good. Where the fuck did I put Toothy? Where the fuck did that end up? Toothy's 4, right? I messed up on that. Yeah, there we go. All right. Put a couple 4s over here, didn't I? All right. Feast of Sanity. Anybody else think that's too expensive? I mean, it's free. All right. I'm iffy on Shabraz. Yeah, so you don't Shabraz being just that little bit expensive. Keep Toothy. All right. Shabraz can go. Toothy can stick around. Drawing the extra cards is going to be crazy. Feast of Sanity is good. Felicia, Graham, Fury. Probably all right with that. Feast of Sanity is how often am I going to trigger that? Any target. Any target's pretty fucking good though. Yeah, feast being any target, being able to just get rid of a bunch of tokens or be able to just like incrementally deal damage to an opponent or a planeswalker or I think that works quite well. Prison, propaganda. What else do we have in here to not be attacked? Let's see here. Not a lot. Did I cut everything? Oh, I guess there's that. All right. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. You gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures sacrificed this way. Probably missed this in the life gain thing, but that's fine too. Basically, I'm going to pay 8 life and gain a handful of it back anyway. And then I got an 8/4. Man is 3. I have enough discard going on. Faunus Hungra is going to half the amount of creatures that are in play. First Sphere Gargantuan. It's not a whole ton, but it's something. There's Protection, Anguished Unmaking, Spell Queller, Adeline. Power equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. And so basically, if I just have Raffine attack with Adeline, 1, 2, 3, and then I can connive that for 4. That sounds really good. That sounds quite good. Drake Haven is making a bunch. Faith of the Devoted as a little extra oomph. Unfulfilled Desires has it's like a second Raffine a little bit. But is it better than the others? Does the card fill you with joy? Um, eh, all cards fill me with joy. Guardian of Faith, along with Teferi's Protection, makes a ton of sense to me. Frontline Medic, that's that counterspell on the bottom and allows me to be really aggressive with attacking. You guys said keep Timna because it's going to draw me a shit ton of cards, more than likely. It's probably drop it and draw 3 cards. Chasm Skulker is going to be good. Want to try that one out. Grazilax is going to draw me a ton of cards. Resourceful Defense. Whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on target permanent you control. Deadly Rollick? Let me look that up real quick. I don't know which one that is. Off the top of my head. I'd have to think about it a little bit. Which one? Deadly Rollick. Oh, exiling a creature for free with the commander. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It could probably replace like Swords to Plowshare or Path or whatever. Okay, that's where I'm at. Island Sanctuary. I think that makes sense in this deck. Malevolent Hermit, I like it. Swiftfoot Boots, I need to be able to protect Raffine a little bit. Planar Birth is going to get some work in here. Dousing Dagger will work. Signet, Talisman makes sense. Cerulean Drake. This can get big. This is like a cheaper Shabraz. Like, I'm cool with this. Same thing with Shadowstorm Vizier. Like, being 3 mana cheaper is just probably better. Greaves, Charter Course. This is my last go through. I might end up having to do another one over the weekend or something just to try and cut down. If I got like 20 cards left, come on. Come on. Charter Course, I still like it. Winged Words, still like it. I'm gonna have plenty of cards with flying. Familiar, Tainted Indulgence makes sense. Crashing Drawbridge. How blah am I doing? I think this makes the most sense with my like reanimation stuff. Strix, Ledger. I'm gonna cut Strix. I don't like it, but I'm going to. Bedtime old timers. Yeah, I get it. Last batch, I'm gonna do a count through and then I'll be done. So reconnaissance mission makes sense. Vengeful Pharaoh makes sense. Path, Curious Obsession, Land Tax. Yeah. Oh, there ain't much. Existence, Curiosity, Treasure Cruise. Let's do a count through. I'm gonna probably end up doing another searching for the spotlight, but I can't cut Strix as Strix. All right, 1, 2. I'm just gonna count, and we're gonna call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40 pennies. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 9, 44, 42, 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. $78. So only 3 cuts on that last go. Yeah, I think I'll probably do another stream probably next Tuesday or something. So, thanks for coming out, everybody. I appreciate you. Remember, like, subscribe, check out the podcast and everything else we do on YouTube. All right. Hopefully, everybody has a good night. Bye.